Okay, good. I'd like to call the meeting to order. We'll hear a motion to accept the minutes of the June 14, 2023 meeting. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Mark, the only thing I noticed is.
Yep.
Kevin, you could relate to this, to get your carbon copy here, Paula Ray, town clerk, email.
Yes, she's been on there for about 18 months now. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I apologize. I'll take her off. Delete that one.
She doesn't need any light reading.
Yes, well, as long as they keep on sending her a paycheck, I don't have any problem with that at all. So.
Okay. All right, let's see, we've got next item is the monthly report dated June 2023.
So any questions, let me know. Summary report for June, average flow of 3, removal efficiencies of 97.6 and 98.4% for BOD and suspended solids. We're 46 pounds under the nitrogen limit for 132 pounds total. Average solids were 21.3% and average E. coli was 2.18. Any questions on that?
So no other eventful happenings this month.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet, which is good.
Okay. And we've got the project engineer report.
Pump station repairs, construction. We had generator maintenance at the Patrick Flood Pump Station. It was antifreeze change, new hoses, thermostat, and the belts were all changed. Paquonic Pump Station, the electrician and maintenance installed a new circuit for the battery tender. West Farms, we reset pump 1 fail. It's the same one that coordinates with the generator run. We've had it a couple times before. We're just trying to figure out how to kind of get rid of the harmonic balance and the frequency that's causing it. Whenever the generator turns on, it's tripping something on the VFD for the pump. Tungus Pump Station, pulled pump 1. We found some rags and debris, cleared it, and the pump was back flushed and it was reinstalled. We haven't had any issues since. South Road, same thing, pulled pump 2, found some rags in it and cleaned it, and we haven't had any issues. Pump station upgrades and collection systems. We jetted Brightwood Road, Birmingham Lane, Fox Run Road, Hemlock Notch, Long Ridge Court, Oak Ridge, and Strawfield Road. Assisted highway and cleaning and vacuuming storm drains in preparation for paving. And that's Westmeath Lane, Door Street, Wooddale, Oldfield Run, Glen Hollow, and Crabapple Lane. Throughout the month of June, we continue to inspect right-of-ways. Angler's Bend right-of-way was inspected and mowed, and several paving projects were also completed from last month, and we're working on the new ones as well. We're also working on infiltration projects on Middle Road and Westgate. Worked with highway using the sewer camera to identify problem areas. 2 storm drains on Forest Hill Drive were cambered and water samples were collected. After using the camera and testing the water we got from the drains, it was determined that groundwater was leaching into the basins from a yard that had French drains. We capped 2 storm drain lines that were emptying into the manholes on Knollwood and Ledgewood. Repairs and maintenance at the plant.
How long had that
Go ahead, Kevin.
Mark, how long had that been going for Ledgewood and
A while. I'm not sure exactly how long, but it's been a long time. So basically we go over and we try to find areas of infiltration, the same on Middle Road. So when we find them, we kind of identify, get a plan, and then get them fixed. So
I mean, because that in the high, I mean, that I used to live there. I mean, that could be throughout the whole neighborhood.
Yeah, and I know we haven't seen any other ones yet, but we've been checking them just to make sure. So, and same with Middle Road, we're basically looking at those issues that we found before.
Yeah.
Um,
In those storm drains on Forest Hills Drive, were they coming down from the mountainside? And so that,
correct. Yeah.
so, yeah, so that the people's backyards, that they had them diverted, so they didn't come down into the basements. They were diverted to the side of their
Correct.
base. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's pretty
Yeah.
steep there too.
Oh, yeah, well, it's, that's the, yeah. Okay,
Repairs and maintenance at the plant. We reset the Avon and Crocus flow meters. It was one of the storms that had knocked out power. Installed new DO lines for the probes and the aeration tanks. The existing ones we had were getting brittle because of the UV, so we put new lines on and put wire loom on it to prevent any further damage. We installed new brackets for the dewatering system lines. We were getting some shaking in the pipes, so we put two brackets on. We drained aeration tank 2 for yearly maintenance. So I took some pictures of it. Because unless you see them empty, people don't really realize how large they are.
Huge.
So this is the 3 guys in the tank. You can kind of see, I tried to get a picture of like the clean diffusers here. And then the ones we were working on cleaning here. So you kind of see just how they get dirty with algae and stuff. So we hose them and clean them off with water, and then they look pretty much brand new. Out of 300, I think there's 360 in each tank. We only replaced 2. Basically on these ends here, there's a clamp that holds the membrane on it. And then there's a threaded piece of PVC. So this tank was 4 years since it's been drained because we rotate one each year. So we replaced 2 of these, the clamps and one of the gaskets and one membrane. And then everything else, and it looked pretty good. So
They were getting back to that Highlands there.
Yep.
The capping of 2 storm rate. Obviously, that's gonna back up somewhere, right? I mean, so you don't basically try to.
well, they had other ones. The way we understood it was they were going into a storm drain down the road, but these were routed into the manholes originally. So I think there's other routes that it was going through. So we cambered it. There was other areas connected to it, but for whatever reason, when they first had them, it probably was going directly into the sewer.
So you think it was original construction?
I would probably say so.
I was just wondering if you would do like a smoke test or something to find out where.
That's actually on the list of ones we're gonna do. So we're gonna do that there. We're gonna do it Middle Road, and we're also gonna do it at the Westgate area as well. So
does the new high school come down towards the town hall, or does it go into the Highlands?
I think it comes down by town hall. I can verify that. I haven't looked at that in a long time, but I'm pretty sure it comes down past town hall.
Okay, yeah, if you could verify that
Yep.
for me, that'd be good. Yeah, because of course, now that the old town hall's not going, well, it's going to be in place still, but it's not going to be getting the use that it once got when in another 2. Yeah. Okay.
We topped the oil off in Grit Vortex 1, and internal recycle pump 2 was pulled and inspected while the aeration tank was down. We changed oil and also inspected the seals. And we just put the UV midge pump on for the summer season. That's just for any flies that we usually get. I think that's it. Other than that, we're calibrating the flow meter this July. Should be, I believe, next week, and that's for Avon and also our influent and effluent meters in the plant.
So is there such a thing as a sewer fly?
They're more so like it's not in the sewer, they're called like filter flies. So they're almost like little mosquitoes. We used to get them when we had the trickling filters a lot, so we don't have them as much anymore. But in the UV building, we get them sometimes, and I think it's because everything's clean at that point, but the water flows through. We have the hatches on top, so they have like a moist environment. They usually like breathe like under the hatch. So when you open it up to get a sample, it's like,
Yeah. Wow.
so we put on. Actually, I gotta look what's in it. It's technically like all natural, but it's just called like a midge killer, and it helps. We drip it in. We do like a half a gallon a day, and we don't get any of the bugs, which is good. So.
Okay.
And that should be it.
Quick question.
Yes.
For the West Farms pump.
Yep.
Am I correct in understanding, so it was like an alarm that went off, but there was nothing actually wrong with it?
No, so what happens is, just trying to get to that part in the report. So what we've been getting is the generator runs on a Thursday, and then sometimes if we manually put it on, it's on a different day. but every time it turns on, the pump faults out. So if the generator's not running, the pump runs, 18 times a day without an issue. So something in the box, which a harmonic balancer, the frequency from the voltage of the generator kicking on is throwing something off in the PLC or the VFD.
Got it.
It's hard to kind of pinpoint it, but our electrician and one of the guys we work with, they've seen it before. I've seen it before in another plant. It used to shut off the influent pumps every time the generator ran, and we could not figure it out for the longest time. And then one time we were literally standing in the building, and the generator kicked on and pump kicked off, and we're like, this has to be correlated. So they were able to put some I don't even remember the name of what they put on it. Like, Phil, you might know something about that, maybe. Have you ever heard of this?
Yeah, it's usually because it's wired not in the best way, and the
That could be
wires
true.
physically need to be
Oh,
moved.
changed or-
separated.
Yeah,
They're probably running next to each other in the same conduit,
yep,
and that makes this happen.
yeah. And West Farm, some of the stuff is 40 years old, so
They didn't have those practices back then.
no. So we're trying to figure out what we can do to fix it, but we're 90% sure that's what's causing it. So
Let's see, I think last meeting there, we talked about having a list of the pump station.
yeah, I didn't forget. I started working on it. What I wanted to do was include the financials for everything that we kept at the end of the year. So I'm still waiting for finance to send me that, because anything that's capital Joe has, once I get that, I'm gonna put it all together in a spreadsheet. So
Yeah, so essentially, I don't know, if it's separate from that, but the reserve balance there.
Yep.
Just the,
yep, no, I have that listed in it, so
Okay.
I didn't forget it's coming.
okay, any other business? Any question? Kevin, anything on your end?
No, I don't think so. That I'm sure that our like average flow, even with the flooding, hasn't been that bad because that Farmington didn't actually get the bulk of the rain. The Farmington River carried it, and of course there was flooding all downstream from the Vinnie DiPietro Bridge. The country club flooded out and like so on, but that doesn't have anything to do with our storm drains because the water really didn't, first come down through the storm drains because we didn't get the rain that Cornwall did with the 7 inches and Norfolk with the 9 inches and all that. So I'm sure that our water flow for the first 13 days or so hasn't been that bad.
No, you're correct. We I think we got up to about 7.8, 7.9. The one day we got 3 or 4 inches, but
Yeah.
I think with all the vegetation, I mean, it pretty much absorbed most of it. And then actually the next day we were back down to 4 million. So we haven't had that much of a peak.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
So Kevin, beyond the veranda there, is there a swimming pool in the backyard?
No, that's swimming pools are a bad topic with my wife and myself. I've never ever wanted a swimming pool. She always wanted a swimming pool. We finally sacrificed and we joined the field club, and that's as close as that we got to a swimming pool, and we've been lifetime members at Winding Trails for 45 years now. So that's as close as we ever got to a swimming pool, was being members of
You're
Farmington
using
Field.
your head and not your wife's heart there, so. But I'm just thinking the location for our optional August meeting day, but I guess we'll have to cancel it for this year.
Yeah, I've never been a swimming pool person. That was too much work.
Okay, hearing no other business, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So
Seconded.
Moved in second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.